Folks, it's absolutely horrendous. I shouldn't have come, I absolutely shouldn't have come. It's 20 plus knots, southeasterly, freezing cold. I've got one rod out there at the moment with like a 6-ounce grip net on, 3 hooks, small worms. I'm just about to throw the other one out. It's getting dark, obviously I'm the only one here. I'll show you the sea in a minute. The wind is going to be ripping in there. I don't even think I'm going to get the shell cut, so this could be a total bust. I'm on. I haven't got the other one out, guys. Rough weather, hang on a second. I'm going to get the other rod out. 100% bite, it's been out there. Well, look, it's there now. I'm pretty sure it's not being dragged around. I'm going to try and get the other one out. Get back here. I'm going to take, I'll show you what the conditions are. Absolutely 20 plus knots. That tells you it's blowing a gale from the southeast. I wasn't even going to fish, I was going to go home. I know that was a bite, I just know it was a bite. Sometimes it would jump if the waves has got it, you know. I don't think it did, I think they hold it. I'm not going to chuck the spinning rod out. I think I'll just stick with these two. Wow, what a wild night. Wild fishing. Well, just about get behind it, you won't hear much noise. It's very, very windy. 25 knots, I'd say. It's not even gusting, it's constant. I've definitely had bites. I know on the first cast, there we go. Small fish, I guess a small fish. I think there might be small bass. I don't know. I think it's too sketchy trying to put my beach shelter up, to be honest. I think I'm better off using this windbreak, which gets higher as I go back. It's cold, of course it's cold. It's not like being in the under shelter there. It's horrible out there, horrible. Got to change the angle of that monopod light I've got there. I can see it from here better. I was busting for a leak, but with this wind, you've got to be so careful, haven't you? I mean, point old Percy in the wrong direction, and the lady at number 53 at the top of the beach is going to get a free car wash. Or worse, I get a free wash. That's what they call getting your own back. What a night. I don't think I've fished in wind like this. I've fished in big storms, but I've been in a sheltered spot, if that makes sense. I'm right in the teeth of it here. Weird cloud formation over there. That is strange. So I'm just going to sort of hunker down here. You have to get what you get with the wind. I can't help that. Can't make it what it's not. I'll tough it out for a couple of hours if I can. I need some more bites. No cookup, because I forgot the cooker. Not the cooker, the Firebox I was going to bring. I don't think it would have worked anyway. So I'm going to stop at a takeaway on the way back. There's so much foamy stuff coming up, all up the beach, blasting up here. It's amazing. You see it, look. Just there, look. You see it just dissolves. Weird stuff. You can see it's building up on my chair now. And the camera bag. It's like a snowdrift. Everywhere. That's not good. I'll go and take you to the seaside. There's a bite, guys, on that right hand one. It's horrendous. And a weird cloud. Two weird clouds. It's a good job I got this bag of shingle there to put some weight on the tripod. Due a bass or a cod, because this wild weather is definitely bassing, and yet I tighten up, nothing. This is when you think I haven't bought enough food, because bear in mind I've got hot dogs, cold, so I've basically got dry bread, flask of lukewarm tea. I need a fish. Oh, I know what I have got. I think the wife put a custard cream in there for later on. It's 5:30. Is that what she means by later on? Massive piece of foam there. I think I'll walk those rods back and treat myself to custard cream. Something's going through the worms anyway. They're great worms. Tiny, some of them. Trouble with tiny ones, you have to use two on a hook to make a decent bait, especially in this rough weather. I'm not sure why they're chewed off. Hang on, guys. Yeah, I've got the wrong angle on the camera. I saw the bite. I thought, oh my God, it's a cod. It's a cod or a bass. It's a dogfish. But listen, I'll take it. It's a fish. Quite a nice dogfish off Hayden Island. I've told everybody where I'm fishing. Oh my God. Quite a nice dogfish off the south coast of England. That is a good dogfish. Now normally as you do a catch and cook, I don't know if you can hear it, this is the wind's still blowing, but I'm going to let this guy go. That's one of the biggest dogfish I've caught off here. That's a nice dogfish. Check it out. Good fish, eh? I think he took sand eel. Well listen, happy days, let's get it back. That's the spinning rod. It's going off the end of the groins here, so there's still always a chance. I think I'll go on the other one. I think it might be weed on the other one, it's dragging the grip out. Well, that's so nice not to have a flake in this stall. I think I'll do the same system again. Yeah, I'll wheel them all in and just send the big one out first. See if we got anything on this one. Respect. I saw the bite go down when I was just standing up there. Not a big one, but another He's got his fin up as well, look. Wow, he must be some angry fish. Look at his fin up. He just barely hooked. Fell off. Get those baits out, man. That certainly was, wasn't it? Do you know what? Honest to God, I really did think that was a nice cod. Or codling, you know, 3 or 4 pound. That dogfish, I thought, oh my god, I wound it really steadily. And it's a bass rod, so it's very soft. But I've got small, like blued hooks, and if you haul arse on a bigger fish, the hook springs out and then it goes back into position. Then you think, oh, it just fell off the hook. No, you pulled it so hard, the hook sprung out like this, and then twanged back. So if I think it's a decent fish, I'm not holding it, you know, especially in the surf, the back surf. The big thing, you get a decent fish. When we used to codfish, you had to watch the wave sucking it back. And if you held too hard, same principle, you tear the hook out of the fish. So you always try and wash a bigger fish up with the wave. And if the wave starts sucking it back, go back with it. Just walk back with it, time it till you get the fish grounded. Not that we get any bigger fish now, obviously, in the UK. Not open beach fishing down the south coast. It's still tough, you know. Saw both bites too, we're really pleased. Well, maybe I'll push my luck now because the wind they gave was going southeast, going round to southwesterly. Exactly said biting, because the easterly wind is always bad for fishing. And if it's going round, I feel it might be just swinging a little bit. It's going to blow in my face here. But of course I can't do a cookup because I've forgotten the Firebox. But I have got some wood in the car, little bits, only a real small packet. I'm wondering if I could just get enough flame to, is that right? Could I get enough flame of little bits of wood to just be able to fry up some hot dogs? That would enable me to stay a bit later. Well, the bait's not going to go too far, to be honest. I've got a great deal now. Some of it is that green worm, and that's just awful, just sloppy stuff. I don't even know whether it's A, they dig it, B, they sell it. It's just a waste of time. It's dead by the time we get to the beach. Green worms, December normally. Whoa, I'm more enthusiastic now. This is why I go sea fishing, why you go beach fishing. It's the unknown. You don't know. Most of the time, it can be nothing. We all know that. But when you do get a bite, you honest to God, you don't know what it is. Fished for like 60 plus years beach fishing and still always live in hope. I don't know what of, you know what I mean? But just live in hope. Something spectacular happening. And I have to say I like my own company. Wherever there's people, I walk the other way. That's a bite. That was a tappy bite then, real small fish. Kind of surprised I haven't had whiting, but maybe it is too rough for the whiting. I knew it wasn't too rough for the bass. Get twangy bites on them right hand wide. I hope it's not going to be weedy. Game on, folks. It is. Pretty nice whiting. I think you'll agree, that's not a bad one. That was on the distant rod. Or as distant as I'm going to get out there tonight with the wind. But, although I have the frying pan, he's eating both hooks, both baits. Yeah, he's taken two, look, one there. And I don't know if I get the other one out or not. I want to get him back. Yeah, he's going to come out. Come out. There we go, got him out. Didn't have to use the disgorger. Well, it's worth topping it out. Definitely till these worms go. Just one shot of this, because once that wood's gone, it's gone. So you have to cook instead of the embers. I won't get enough embers, this is only kindling wood, which is meant to go in a firebox, one of Mike's bushcraft fireboxes. So you don't need anything like this paper, but luckily I always have some paper with me for fires or emergencies, reading material or materials. But normally cook over embers, but I'm going to take a gamble. I wonder if I can get enough heat to cook over just a flame. But almost as soon as it takes, if it takes, try and get the pan hot. It's a gamble, but then today was a gamble. Wind goes round, I won't have a chance in hell. If it goes to southwesterly, I'd have to move completely. And I've dug a depression here so that it's got a chance. I think I'm going to get enough to get it hot. I did put some magic juice in there somewhere in case it wouldn't burn. I want to keep this dry in case I have to go for a second burn. Okay. A lighter would be happy. A flame is always good, I've noticed, when you try and light a fire. Please work. Right, let's keep that close. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Don't sit in the smoke. You see, with a pan like that, it's not how I'd normally cook. It's the only chance I've got. A little bit of cooking oil. Okay, quite a lot of cooking oil. I feel it might work. Let's check the bites. Nothing I see at the moment, don't need any bites. No idea how hot that's getting. Fish light cooking oil all over them. My frying pans. Oh, there you go, look at this. Oh, 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 oh. Oh no, where have I put the hot dogs? This could work. This could work, folks. Could also catch everything alight. I've got to wait till I see the fat start to sort of pink a little bit. Of course, some locals are going to come past and think I'm setting light to the breakwaters. They won't realise I've brought my own kindling wood with me. Something about flames and humans, isn't it? I mean, that's sort of the ultimate thing. I smell hot fat. Let's listen first. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oopsie. Sorry about the language, guys. Oh, go out, go away. Okay, so it's going to work, obviously. It's cooking on flame. I am known for my culinary skills, I hope you realise, people. Oh yes, yes, yes. Let's see if it goes off again. Then we get the old Nino, Nino, Nino. What a result. What a result. The ultimate survival. Fisherman. Well, nearly, because I could have had it explode into flames. Well, I did have it explode into flames, didn't I? Let's have a look, check those rods. Doing nice, doing nice. Well, you can see how quickly the flames have gone down because it's only kindling wood. So I've got to lower the pan closer and closer. Now it's more sort of cooking material. A piece of wood poking around. Yeah, nearly done. I think they're done. Well, the one on the left's done, is cremated. Brilliant. Let's get the rolls. That was so lucky. We might be able to dine by wood fire light. Sweet chilli sauce to me goes with literally everything. There we go, my lovelies. I know how to live and survive. You know what else I know? How to sit down in wet shingle. Man, if I just had some red onions for that. That was so well worth doing. I didn't need Mike's Firebox. I didn't realise it kindling could do so well. I really need a pint of doom now. I need £3 bass and a pint of doom. All those people sitting at home thinking, "Wow, he's really enjoying himself. He's had a dogfish and bass, and why did he still there in the storm? Tucked way behind the breakwater." And the old saying is, who dares wins. Well, you've got to be in it to win it. Or, don't let the frying pan get too hot with cooking oil, or it bursts into flames, Graeme. Rounding after the cook-up guys, and it looks like another PB. The wrong sort of PB. It might be the world's smallest bass, I don't know. It could well be. So, he's definitely hooked, but look at the size of the hook in relation to the fish. Ridiculous, isn't it? That shows you how greedy they are. So, I'm hopeful of another fish. The tide is pumping in now, so I'm going to get this guy back, hook myself. I think that was on a piece of sander we took. And fingers crossed, I've got enough work maybe to winkle another fish out. Well, what's this time, guys? Which I thought pretty decent for down here anyway. Baby conger eel. Well, it's a small one, I know it's not that small, but that's a decent conger, guys. Off the beach. Look at that one. Well beat, just jaw hooked. See if I can get a good angle. There he is. Brilliant, brilliant. What a little session. Get this guy unhooked. Give me a good bite. I thought it was the waves bouncing out, but no. Monsieur, you can tell by his head there. Well, he's going to twist all over the place now. I think Wayne told me they're called masseter muscles on the top of the head there. Let's get him off. Right, get him back, get the bait out. I've got about one more round of cast left, guys. Nearly. Let's get down out of the way. Well, just an update, people. The wind has done what they said. It's gone from southeasterly howling gale when I was here. It's gone round to southerly. It's going to go southwesterly. It's still going to be blowing a tad less, so that's, oh, I'm nearly out of bait. I've got maybe one more cast left with a full bait up with worms, topped off by the sanding. So I'm well pleased with that. Doing cold now. I mean, on a little, tiny little blue hook like that. That's what, exactly what I said earlier on. I knew it's a good fish, and it kept getting surged back by the waves. So you just have to ease it in, then go back down with it. Don't crank all and crank all here. Open the hook up. And what's happening now, because we're getting towards high water, the waves are getting bigger and bigger, and they're jumping the leads, and that's making the lead jump like this, and the waves twang on the low in the line where they're entering the water, and that gives you a force bite. I know that's happening because all three rods go together. So I guess I'm sort of getting on the end of the session here, really. So apologies for the wind. Thank goodness I come out of it the other side, hopefully with some fish, and a cook-up on the beach, which was really good. And you know what? It gets even better, because I've got half of that custard cream left, and half of lukewarm, disgusting pig. I mean, do I live like a king? What? Storms? Nah, they're not going to stop me. That one? No, that's a big wave. Just goes bang. Annoying, but I've done go. I've done good. So not much longer. What I am impressed with, and the last time I used it I was impressed, and I'm even more impressed now, is that I call it a monopod LED light. It's absolutely brilliant. It goes on forever. My wife uses it in the hallway now because she just charges it once on her phone charger, and it lasts like a week on low power. I mean, this thing's on low power, and I can see all the rods there, no problem at all. I'll turn mine out. There you go. You can see a big circle of light there. I'll walk up. That's what it's throwing out. And for me sitting back against a night sky, wow, that's a biggie. Gonna have to move back again. And of course, beautiful setting tonight. You can twist it like this, downwards. So you can light a huge area up like that. Believe it or not, that's low power. Very, very handy little tool. Come on, one more fish. Can't believe it's the top of the tide, people. It's unbelievable. I've just got the best eating fish you could ever get on my last cast, my last wind in. Wait till you see this one. There's going to be people that are furious. The best eating fish ever. And I'm packing up. I couldn't believe it myself. Come on. Watch the size of this one, boys. That's right. It's a sole. I'll tell you what, guys, it was a lot less windy in here than it was down on that beach. I mean, it was absolutely howling. I apologise for the wind noise. I don't have all throat mics, well I do, but I never use them. I just went fishing, toughed it out. I was the only person down there. It's hardly surprising. Anyway, don't go away. We've got something else for you. Yes, it's Grant from Tackle Up, and he's talking about floater fishing. Check it out. Might be one tip that turns your fishing day around.
So just going through what I'm selling lots of in the shop at the moment, which is for floater fishing on the surface for carp, or generally carp should we say. So I've got a little selection here, Graeme pan across the camera, of just a few, and we were talking about how it's simple to go floater fishing and take minimal tackle. It looks like I've got a whole tackle box worth here, but this isn't. This is just pretty much everything I've got on my little floater wall to catch carp. There's bigger sizes and all sorts of floats for getting distance. So I'll start with the basic stuff and go through. So if we start with the line, not essential for everyone to use, but you will find if you're floater fishing and use a surface style line, it will float better on the top. which means you will get better bite indication because your line won't be from your float, which say would be here, and then to your bait might be there. It might be sunk down a foot under the water, which then sometimes spooks the fish. So I'd say a surface line, or if you didn't want to buy a surface line, you can get something like muslin or something that's used for fly fishing to keep the line floating on the surface. So that would be a little tip from me there. So starting with your line, I would suggest if you've got a floater rod, buy some floating line, okay? Then it would be, for me, you either stop knot up the line, or I like to use these little rubber like float stops. So what I generally do is I put one of those on the line first, depending what type of float it is. So if it's going to be a free running float, should we say, I'd have one of those on up the line, and then I'd have a loop, and I'd actually use another one of those the other side of the float. I'll demonstrate one in a second. And it's purely, if I don't have a swivel in it, it's easier for it to float. If I have a swivel sat the other side of this float, I generally find something to make it sink. So there you go, you might have seen the back of that packet there. That's one way of they set up a controller float. So it's using a swivel and a bit of silicone tubing.
And that one is going through the top of the float.
Through the top of the float. So the idea of your line, let's open one up so you can actually see it. They sealed these.
Because some I've seen where you do that at the bottom. I've seen some with the line going through the bottom.
Through the bottom. So generally, I'll show you. So that would be an inline version, but this is what we call like a switch. It's like, imagine a normal float would basically be that way up, if you like, if you swivel on the bottom.
Yeah.
The reason they pin it that way, so your weights on the bottom should always land that way up.
It's an integral weight, so they know inside.
Bubble of air, then you probably see it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you swivel through the top. So the idea being that if that was your water level sat there, your line comes through the top.
I see. So it's on the surface, level.
On the surface, yeah. So, and I have forgotten to bring a particular float up, which I'm going to show you at the end, which is just very old design, but I still always stick in my head for float fishing.
And they're called what? Streamline?
Streamliner controller floats. So what you'll generally find is people call the floats for float fishing controller floats, okay? So there's also these other types. You might have seen some of these, especially some of the new videos out there that some of the guys do on these. So this works an inline with a piece of tubing. This is a float, believe it or not. It looks like some sort of torpedo that's going to sink, but it won't. So I'll just show you. So it's for fishing inline, so you would, from the top of your main line from your rod, take the little top rubber off, you'd feed through, you've got a swivel, if I can get the swivel out.
Oh, it's almost like the carp leads almost, you know, with a peg in it.
Exactly the same, exactly the same. So that goes back in there. I thread my line straight through.
Yeah.
That on first, line straight through so that can go on then. That's just to finish it off nicely. And then you tie onto your swivel there, and then pull it back into there. Okay, you can see, so it is exactly like, so it is safe if you were to break off.
It's a safe rig and a sort of a bolt rig.
It is, it's a semi-fixed bolt rig as we would call it, because it's not fixed because it can come apart, okay? So then you tie your hook length off here, I would say somewhere about 6 foot.
Yeah.
In my eyes, might want longer, depends, because sometimes if your line snakes across the top with the wind, and you've got it blowing back towards your float, they don't always take it because they're wearing
it goes up to the float, and I've done that.
Or you do the other option, they're trying to eat the float, and you wish you had a hook off the side of your float. So that's what we call a semi-fix. So when the fish takes that, it's going to hook itself against that weight there. Okay, they do these. This is the smallest size, which I brought up, so I can't find the packet currently. 10 grams. So it's 10, 15. 20, 30, 50 and 80 grams.
Wow, so you can cast
So if you're going to be fishing 100 yards, something like, you can whack one of those big ones out a fair way, so there's a good chance of getting out there on it. But for me then, you're relying on the hooking of the float.
Yes.
You can't see the bait at that distance.
You won't see the bait?
I can't anyway, definitely.
You won't see the bait, and also slightest bit of wind or drift, you're going to have a bit of snake in the line to pick up, aren't you?
To strike, and that's another thing, as Graeme just mentioned. You want to keep your line in contact as best you can, as straight as you can, because otherwise when you strike, as everyone would have done, it's like this across the water, and then you're like, oh no, I've missed it. So
picking up loose line,
yeah, pick up your loose line nice and tight. So I'll just show you some of the other floats before we move on to the next bit. So again, exactly like this, but it's called the Bubble Bolt by Fox. It's this Fox's version, so it doesn't have the long tail. It comes with the swivels. It actually comes with bait bands and that as well in the little pack. So that's in line again, like the other one I just shown you. So
basically, you could buy that little kit and just buy packet hooks, and you're away.
Look, if I said you had to buy that, I'd probably always have an artificial bait because they're quite good on the hook. Like if you're struggling,
yeah,
that's a pot hookable, ready to go floaters, right?
Yes.
So I would say that, and that. and I'd be taking a bag of those.
That's your feed to
feed
get them
it.
going.
And
Yeah.
that is it. You know, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in my hand, and that's all you need to go float fishing. It looks extreme what we've got sat in front here, but this is just a few options you can choose from, okay? And you don't even have to have that. You could just have the hard dog biscuit, which is what Graeme probably fished with growing up.
The old
and I did
pedigree
as well.
chum mixers on
So
it.
these are like, this is a pellet version, but that's a expander pellet 11mm, exactly like a pedigree chum mix in a way. Brilliant, I think. But you could fish that straight on a bait band on the back of a standard hook and just chuck
They're
it.
hard, don't they? You got to soak them.
No, so I wouldn't soak that because it would pretty fall apart too easy then.
Yeah.
So I would just feed it as it is,
And,
floating on the top.
and a band, you
And a
band.
band. So yeah, so we've got, it's like bait bands, you either get, so these ones seem most popular guys floating fishing, so that's for doubles, so you can put 2 on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, never seen them.
Right,
Never
and,
seen them
you've
before.
got a little tab on there, I don't know if you can see it through the camera, and you pull it off and that little hook, tab bit stays on, you put the hook through there.
Oh,
So
really?
you just hook the tab. Same with these ones, that's a single. You can see there's a bit of a tab, then a gap, then the circle. You hook the tab bit and that's what your hook goes into. So that's just a nice easy one. So yeah, you could go with a hard bag of biscuits, a pack of rings and a pack of hooks.
And away
off
you go, yeah.
You don't even need to fish a float if you're close enough. So
And when you open these ones, which I've never
So
seen before,
these
can you reseal them, or you got to freeze them?
No, they're fine because these are already preserved. They're done in oil. Okay, so that is like a dog biscuit, but it's already been soaked. See it squidgy?
Oh yeah, soft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you can hook that. I will say that they last for long enough for you to get a bite.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be sitting it out there for 10 minutes. It'd go mushy and probably
you have to rebait. Yeah.
But as part of doing that style of fishing, so these are really good. There used to be another base, 2 big bags of them, but they've stopped doing it, unfortunately, for some other reason. So
Yeah.
these we get in. I think we get a salmon flavour, a krill, and a tutti frutti. There you go, pink salmon. That one is.
Yeah.
So I would be picking anything oily, making a slick across
Yes,
the water.
especially if there's a ripple, that helps,
Cracks
doesn't
in
it?
the fish, yeah. So yeah, that one's Scopex,
Good old Scopex.
which is obviously an old traditional.
Don't actually know what
flavour.
Scopex is, but I know I used it 50 years ago.
I don't know what flavour.
chemical
it's made of.
is,
It's
yeah.
like a chemical, but
Good
it
for
smells
bream, I
nice.
seem to remember.
Yeah. So those are the different styles of controller floats, bubble floats. Well, there's one over there. You get the option, you can fill these, I should have mentioned that on these. These are like a traditional bubble floats you can fill with water
Oh, really?
to make them
Still
so
good.
heavy to cast out further.
I got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the old, it's a
There you
bit like
go.
the old bubble float.
That's it, so that is your traditional bubble float there.
Yeah.
Take
Which is
one out
just
of
clear
the package,
plastic. You
guys.
fill it with as much water or as little water.
Yeah, so it really depends on your distance, doesn't it,
Yeah.
how far out you're going to fish. So you'd feed your line through there, through that side that traps it, and then you've got 2 little bung ports. You can fill it with water, and then just plug it up, and that obviously gives you more weight for distance, things like that.
They've been about for years and
Forever
years
and ever,
years.
that's what we fished with years ago. I
Yeah.
mean, I quite like these bolt systems, they work well. Well, I do still use these a lot when I've been.
And you say that one's a one you fill with water as well.
So that's
So you
through
do
water,
the shape of
you,
that
you
one.
screw the top off that,
Oh, I see.
fill it, screw it back on. So it's a bit more advanced. There you go. You see on the back there how it sits.
Weird and wonderful things.
So you
all
can,
different.
same as every fishing, we can make it as complicated as we want to get, but
Yeah.
simplicity is what's going to catch us. Finding the fish is more than the key, I would say.
What about hooks? What do you need?
So,
Is there such a thing as a floater hook?
There is, Graeme, there is. So I say a floater hook, let's just say they're a lighter gauge hook. So I've picked out a couple of packets I've got on the shelf. So we've got Calder's mixer hooks, they call them. If you want to know what the difference is between a mixer and a mixer B, that's a microbarbed hook, as you see on the packet,
Yeah.
and the B just stands for barbless. Okay, what you'll find is they look very similar to the other ones on the shelf, so it'll be a wide gate pattern hook, but it's of a thinner gauge. Okay, it has been strengthened, so it will take the pressure of catching bigger fish, but it's not quite as heavy. So what I'm trying to get to the point of it, if you had your normal standard size 8 6 carp hook on one of these semi-floating baits already, by the time you set the hook in, it's so heavy it will start pulling the bait
Yeah,
in the water,
yeah.
and you will not be fishing the top layers. Don't worry, it can get you a bite sometimes
On
when
the
they're
drop.
holding slowly on the
If you're
drop.
holding the rod.
Well, that's another thing you can do with these. You can fill these up with water, they're just about sinking.
Yes, I guess so,
So
yeah.
if you're struggling on the top and you can see the fish are there,
Moving.
you let it slowly sink, and they might take it. Or it depends where you're fishing, one of them sinking might spook them, you know, if it's not so busy vending. So that's Calder's version of a mixer hook. And then this is ESP, which is Drennan as a company, which some of you, or a lot of you will know. So these are called the Cryogen surface hooks. Again, a wide gate pattern, bit of a longer shank on these. I like a long point, which is I'm a fan of. Again, lighter gates.
When you say long point, that's between the point and the barb itself,
and the barb
at a distance,
itself,
or,
yeah.
or where a barb would be if it's
Yeah,
barb
exactly
less.
that. So if you see that, that's quite short.
Yeah, the distance.
The distance. I don't know if you can see on that, but it's a very long,
we won't get it in this
straight
camera,
point. Yeah. You probably might see it on that one, possibly.
And you like long.
I like long.
We'll call it a long point.
A long point gives me more to knock off on the bottom, then I would say. So, but then we've got onto baits. Okay, so my floating pellet. So dog biscuit. Well, that's 11mm expander pellet. Okay. We do £2 for 2 kilo. Sorry, 8 quid for a 2 kilo bag, which I think is quite reasonable.
I think what you said then was better. A £2 for an 8 kilo bag.
Definitely for you as the customer.
You sell out of those, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I do different sizes because I used to do lots of float fishing, and I used to find fish spooking off normal dog biscuits and that. So I started trying these expander pellets in little bags growing up out the shop, which are the maximum used for pumping, which I think I've possibly shown before. So that's a 3mm expander pellet, and I find sometimes just the noise of that lighter pellet across the top and then let it float in the wind is brilliant. And I never mix the pellets together, because when you're catapulting you'll have lighter pellets, heavier pellets, and it'll all spread out, and you obviously want to get it together. So that's a 6mm expander.
Yeah.
Again, just like feeding it, and I find if you've got wary fish that have got used to this bigger dog biscuit, I generally find feeding them and using that as your hook bait perfect. Alright, so they're the 3 sizes that we stock on our little floater stand in the shop. You can go to the supermarket, bag of dog biscuits, but I would definitely say just get plain biscuit, not these flavoured. I've seen like friends trying to use bakers, the meaty chunks, they're like soft, you can hook.
Yes.
They don't float like this.
Really?
They do sink still. They're too heavy. So, alright, so that's one of your easy baits to do. What I haven't got here to show you is bread. Obviously bread, fantastic, nice and cheap from the supermarket. Obviously be aware of where you're fishing, because you can upset a lot of people throwing surface baits on.
It drifts off past Maxman up the road.
Yeah, I've been guilty of it in the past, not realising what I was doing until you get educated to it. So just be aware of where other people are fishing. Some of the other baits you use are artificials, really. So that's an artificial dog biscuit.
Yeah.
So you hook it, and then you pop your shot into the bottom here.
Oh, so you give it casting weight.
Well, casting weight plus it pulls your hook to sit on the top. So
I got you. Yeah,
underneath, and the water's sitting up.
They can't see it, hopefully.
I don't know if you can see it. It's a bit of
just the idea being the fish can't see it then.
Idea being that it's not always an issue. Normally, if you get the fish feeding on the top, as you will know, they get quite competitive and they will snatch at a bait straight away. Right, so as you can see, you pull the artificial bait like you would putting a boilie on through the hole, then you put your little split shot that comes in the box on the bottom of the hair, okay, so on the loop, then pull it back on itself, and then what it'll do, the hair will always pull the bait down, which turns your hook up on the top like this one, so you're always sitting above the surface with your hook.
So it's a split shot?
It is a split shot.
Does he pinch it into a loop or something? That's what it looks like.
Pinch it into the loop, or you don't have to do the loop, you could do it on a straight bit of line, to be fair.
Yeah.
You pull it back in, and then obviously it will just sit that way up. So
yeah, you can see that, so hooks on the top.
Something different. I've used them before and it's caught me a couple of fish, so it's just something different. We like to try different things. So these are what we call mini mixes, so just a smaller version of this. So it doesn't give you the option to put a split shot on it, it comes with a little bait stop to put on there. They give you a bright coloured bait stop, which is purely just for a sight thing, because you might be able to see the bright yellow or the bright pink sat on top of your mixer. Or another option I like are these, which are again artificial, but they're squidgy. I'll show them it. They float on the top. I've also used them fly fishing for carp as well. So you feed the mixes and then you clip one of these on and then fish it out on the fly rod, and they work really well. So while we're doing the closing, I'll show you these. Another artificial bait, just literally a foam bait. It's a zig pop up. No reason you can't float that on the top to catch. Works very well. So you know, it's another little thing they do. I think yellow and red, black and red, and they also do this one, which is just a straight black zigger liner. Everyone does artificial baits now, so there's nothing you can't really
Is it becoming more popular, you think, is it?
I don't think so. I think a time of year thing, so when the weather gets warm and the fish get hard to catch and they're a bit bit unsure what to do, I generally, you go floater fishing, because you know they're on the surface milling around, you've got a chance of mugging one off the top, and I think it's a very good boat. Exciting, and get you on the edge of your toes anyway, standing there. So
It's entertaining, isn't it?
it is very entertaining, yeah. So you must contain your language when you are floater fishing. So, but that's just a general insight. Rod-wise, what would I use for going floater fishing? So
Would it be a softer rod than normal?
I prefer a softer rod, because when you're striking, it's quite aggressive all the start. Sometimes the fish are very explosive when you hook them, and that's when a lot of stuff's being lost. So stiff rods are going to pull, bounce back, and possibly turn the hook and pull it. I'd like a soft rod to pull into the fish gently, and you can slowly increase the pressure and you will catch. Again, I would say like a pound test curve to £1.5, £1.75. A lot of these new floater rods are £2, £2.5. I would say, yeah, it's okay, but they're looking at fish of an immense size, maybe 40s plus, I think, off the top. So,
yeah,
£1.5 sort of barbel rod, should we say?
Yeah,
I think, or
yeah.
an Avon type rod, perfect on the surface, and it give you good fun to play fish. So, but just check with your fishery rules, because the floater fishing isn't for every fishery. So
that's
just
right.
double check that. So,
Oh,
but
appreciate it.
that is
That's
like
good.
a little insight to where to start. If unsure, pop to your local shops and have an ask, guys. There's plenty about.
Well, thanks to Graeme for that chat. A lot of interesting information there. I mean, I use a hook and a piece of bread, and that normally does me. But there's plenty of gizmos, gadgets and bits and pieces you can tie on the end of your fishing line and throw out for floater fishing for carp. So, fingers crossed I get to do a bit more fishing. I'm not sure what to put up. I've got some random ones. Whether I put one up next week, I don't know. I'll look through the files and see what I've got. People, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Hit the subscribe button if you so wish. Hit the notification bell so you know what's coming up. But generally, I try my best to do Friday night, 7 o'clock. Don't forget, watch Mike's TA Outdoors. And he's got another one called The Life of Mike. There's all bits and bobs going up all over the place. We'll see you next time. And you guys have plenty of fish and have a good week.